Once again, JP Sears will be making his second start for the San Diego Padres after getting touched up a couple weeks ago, and Landon Roop will be going for the Giants. Padres are currently minus 155 on the money line. That game starts at 6:40, and Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis are going to fight in an exhibition on November 14th on Netflix. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscriptions ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Yes, indeed. What is going on, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John and Jim will take over then. We are broadcasting today in San Diego, California at the iHeart Studios of San Diego Sports 760. Tomorrow, in the ever-living words, the iconic words of Vince Vaughn, we'll be broadcasting in Vegas, baby. Vegas! Oh, we're pumped about it. We are staying at the Circa Hotel for the next couple of nights, checking out the Circa Sportsbook for the next couple of days, and doing a little Radio Row action out in Las Vegas over the next couple of days as Circa gets ready for the NFL season that is coming just 2 weeks away from tomorrow. We can't wait for any of it. We're pumped about it. And hopefully you follow along on social media here on the air with us as we spend the next couple of days out in Las Vegas. Sammy, are you excited more for Vegas or more for the pre-flight beer at the San Diego International Airport?
Love a pre-flight beer. Absolutely love one at the airport, but we're excited to get to Circa and check out the sports book and get into some fun things tonight.
We'll get into some fun things indeed. We'll be on Fremont Street, so you never really know what's going to happen on Fremont Street. It just kind of happens. And I promise you, John and Jim Vegas trips are going to be very, very different than Fletch and Sammy Vegas trips.
Yeah, there will be no card pack, baseball pack openings on this trip for Ben Fletcher and Sammy Long.
I don't think so. No, I don't project that being in our future unless, who knows? We might win $1 million. Then you got 125 just to throw it, whatever you want.
Maybe we'll buy them a pack.
Maybe I'll buy the entire lucky box, the entire machine.
We're going to own the company.
I think so. I think that's our plan, Sammy. So as we go into this voyage, make sure you're following us on social at Fletch and Sammy everywhere you can find us. We'll keep that going over the next couple of days out in Las Vegas. Beers will be drank, money will be won, and Sammy and I are going to come home millionaires. I think that's the plan, right? Because Circa Survivor, and what's the jackpot up to for Circa Survivor?
Circa Survivor is $6 million. So that's a Survivor pool you get to play with Circa, and then Circa Million is $15 million. So if you play both, you win up to $21 million in prizes.
I think we just do that.
What are you even waiting for?
Why don't we just win $21 million?
Let's just do it.
Let's just do that.
Why play a lotto where I don't think my ticket's going to cash when I know more than the books when it comes to the NFL?
I'm not going to lie. I do have Powerball tickets also. It's up to 643 and that drawing is tonight. So this might be a very different Vegas trip.
That would be insane if you won a Powerball in Las Vegas, but you didn't actually win money from Las Vegas.
Here's the Powerball's up to 643. If I win it tonight, I'm not on the air tomorrow, Sammy. I'm living a very different Vegas lifestyle.
Sammy Long show tomorrow.
Yeah, literally. Honestly, I might hire you away. You're just coming with me. You're going to be my beer opener for the rest of your life. Hopefully that sounds all right for you.
It's like Snoop's blunt roller that he pays $100,000 a year to.
I'll pay you $150, and your only job is to open up beer cans.
$150 feels a little light if you make $643 million.
Well, you got to make sure that there's room to grow, Sammy. You can't just start off with a huge contract. You need to work your way up to
I like it.
What if you're a terrible beer opener? What if you're lazy with it?
I don't have too many talents. That's something I'm okay.
What if I can't find you at 9 o'clock in the morning and I just need me some nice cold Coors Light and Sammy's not there for me?
Yeah, I don't think we're living together, so that could be a problem.
Not yet. If we win the lottery, we are. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. In fact, we got Mikey Varas, the head coach of SDFC, jumping on the show today, coming up at 1:45. That'll be our final segment before our big send-off. And we got Padres to talk about, who did get a win yesterday. They snapped the streak. Although the very, very start of the game, in fact, one of the first few pitches of the game, I thought this Padres team was just broken. Nick Pivetta gives up the homer in the first. He really struggles through the entire first inning. He ends up well over 25 pitches just in the first inning alone, but settles down and becomes the stopper that the Padres needed. He was fantastic in the second through the fifth inning. God, he was good yesterday, and that's exactly what the Padres needed. They needed something to get back right. And by the way, Fernando Tatis Jr. was on base all game long. I know it was a little infield kind of dwarpy single, but walked a couple times. But it's good to see Fernando just on the base paths. Manny Machado breaks his RBI streak. Padres, at least a little bit yesterday, came back to form. Still had a lot of opportunities for that to be like a 10-1 game, but getting the win is most important. Padres get the win, snap the streak, and hopefully that's turning the tide a little bit for things to come over the next few days.
Yeah, 100%. That was a scheduled win for the Padres, so glad they did it. That's kind of that game just had a lot of possibility. We were talking about it yesterday. They were over a 2-1 favorite. That rarely happens in a baseball game, especially in a regular season. Obviously, not a very good pitcher going for the Giants. And Nick Pivetta, honestly, well, he is the ace for the Padres. I didn't think we'd be saying that at the beginning of the year, but Nick Pivetta has been the most consistent pitcher going for San Diego all year. Big win, obviously keeping pace. Dodgers won last night, so both teams really, Monday didn't come out focused, but no change in the NL West. But listen, get back on track. Offense came alive a little bit. We're not sitting here throwing a parade that everything's turned around, but it was nice to see that. And
although a parade would be fun
for splitting for 1-1 against the Giants,
yeah,
I think that's a little premature.
Just parades in general, it doesn't have to be Padres.
This is related. The thing, though. You have to go win the next two games. If they go win the next two games, you feel like okay, you salvage this Giants series because you obviously put a clunker up on Monday night. Weren't really taking them seriously. It felt like you beat them bad Tuesday night. Go win the next 2 days, and it feel like you look at the series as a success. I really feel like a 2-2 with the series is a failure. I think that's something that if you would ask most Padre fans heading into Monday after the Dodgers series, that's not something you want to see, especially with the Dodgers seeming to get right against the Rockies. Who knows? Same thing could happen to them, but we'll make sure when you want to go 3-1 to set up LA over the weekend.
Now, Sammy, I did notice that today the Padres and Giants game begins at 6:40. I happen to know that you and I will be landing in Vegas at 5:55. Does that give us enough time to get into the sports book before the beginning of the game?
I think it is. What do you want to go? You want to go run total over?
Maybe we'll have to look at the
Padres
lines.
Money line with something else.
Maybe we can decide that later in the show and decide what we're going to be throwing some money at. But right now it's time for the big three. Sammy Long takes us through the top stories in the world of sports. We got lots going on. Boxing news, NFL news, everything is happening, people. Let's get to it. Smash that button, Sammy.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big Three.
If you would like to text the show, you can. 70470. Start your message with team. If you would like to watch the show on X, at Fletch and Sammy, on YouTube, at San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, I can't believe we got this far into the Padres conversation and did not talk about the two different people who were running on the field yesterday. We'll have to talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, that kid got absolutely destroyed by the security.
If that was in the NFL, you're talking a 15-yard penalty. If it's a Mahomes, if that kid was Patrick Mahomes, the security guard would have been ejected for the rest of the season. Because the NFL is soft.
It felt
with
a
Mahomes.
Little excessive.
It was
it's like, guys,
man.
like, come on. This is not some dude running.
I got a theory on it. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later. All right, let's go to Indianapolis. The Colts yesterday named Daniel Jones starting quarterback over Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's agent, Derek Jackson, stopped sort of demanding a trade, but he kind of wondered whether Shane Steichen, head coach, predetermined this when they signed Daniel Jones back in free agency in March. And he said, we have a lot to discuss, and ripped into the Colts. Reaction to his agent.
Soft. I think Anthony Richardson lost the quarterback battle in camp. Look, if you look at the numbers, we kind of went through this yesterday. Warren Sharp had a tweet out where out of 55 quarterbacks over the last couple of years who have thrown at least 125 pass attempts, Anthony Richardson, by the numbers, is the worst quarterback on that list. Daniel Jones isn't great, of course. Daniel Jones at least knows how to read a defense. I saw our buddy Jared Smith, who joins the show every once in a while. He's our betting expert, and we'll have him a lot more during the NFL season. He did a whole video on this where he was talking about the fact that Anthony Richardson is literally a one-look quarterback. And that sucks because I think we all think Anthony Richardson has a lot of talent, but he is a one-look quarterback. Daniel Jones at least knows how to read a defense, go through a quarterback progression, which should be the bare minimum for an NFL starter. The agent is doing what the agent should do. He should try to make sure Anthony Richardson is in the best spot for him to succeed in the future. But as of right now, Daniel Jones is just the better option for starting quarterback.
This is just a massive indictment on the Colts that you knew what you were getting with Anthony Richardson when you drafted him. You knew you weren't getting a polished player. You were getting a guy who had tons of talent and could be molded into a good quarterback. And you thought with Shane Steichen, an offensive-minded head coach, that you would be able to do that. And now you basically just wrote him off. You're basically telling him that he's not it. Maybe he's not. Maybe the Colts are right and they're completely whiffed. And I guess good on them for cutting their losses where they are. But again, we keep talking about the Browns with this. Not a team that we're expected to be going deep in the playoffs or even making the playoffs. So probably picking towards the top of the draft next year. At least see what you have in Anthony Richardson. He's had a lot of injuries. To be fair to him, he's had a lot of injuries throughout his career. And there's been moments where he looks good. I know you mentioned the completion percentage that hasn't been very good. And there's been times where you're like, this guy's not an NFL quarterback. And there's times where you're like, whoa, this guy looks like he's uncorking 80-yard bombs down the field. It feels like it's Daniel Jones is the safe option. It feels like the option that they're setting up to draft a quarterback next year because, I mean, what is Daniel Jones going to do? Be okay? Be what he's done his whole career? Be a solid quarterback, not a terrible quarterback, but not a good quarterback either. I don't think they see Daniel Jones as the future. And I like what his agent said. Like, get him out of there. Like, take him somewhere else where he might have a chance to develop because obviously the Colts don't see it in him.
I still think there is potential in Anthony Richardson. And I think the Colts would be silly if they didn't think that also. But do they have the time and the resources to build up a brand new quarterback? The answer is no, not right now. So maybe he goes somewhere else. And everything you said, Sammy, about Anthony Richardson is right about the potential. You could say the same things about Josh Allen when he first got into football. Raw, athletic, big arm.
People thought Josh Allen was a bust his first year.
Most people did. People thought it was hilarious that the Bills took him. Well, a couple years later, he's the MVP of the league. So Anthony Richardson still has a future. They're just going to need the right person to unlock it.
All right, let's head to boxing. Massive announcement today. Jake Paul will be fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, who fights at 135 pounds usually. Jake Paul has usually been fighting in 175, 190 cruiserweight division. This will be an exhibition on November 14th. Now, Lamont Roach, who last fought Tank Davis last year, controversial. It was a draw. I watched the fight. I thought Lamont Roach should have won. He put a jab on him, and Tank Davis actually took a knee, and they didn't rule it a knockdown because he said he had gel from his hair that went into his eyes. It was a weird fight, but Lamont Roach fought very well. Lamont Roach went to social media calling him a duck. What is your reaction to this fight? What is your thinking of Tank Davis, who was thought of to be a pound-for-pound fighter, taking on Jake Paul?
Give me the weights one more time.
Tank Davis fights at 135, and he's kind of a small 135-pounder. And Jake Paul fights at 190. So there's going to be a catch weight. That's going to be the selling point.
Jake's going to have to come down. Tank's going to have to go up. Is that what you're saying?
No, there's going to be a massive weight disparity.
So see, this is what sucks. It's like Jake Paul. He goes on this rampage about suing everybody who's calling his fights illegitimate. We all watched that Tyson fight, and I'm not going to say anything to get me sued, but it didn't look like a real fight. So now
it was horrible.
It was awful. So Jake Paul is now going to go fight a dude that's 50 pounds lighter than him, and we're all supposed to just say, "Oh yeah, this is real." He stacks the cards in his favor, and maybe that's what he has to do. And he's ridiculously successful, and I do think he's actually a pretty good fighter. But why do you have to why can't you just get the top contender at your weight?
Exactly. Right. It's like fight someone your weight. Two things here. Let's start before we get to like analyzing the fight. Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. Jake Paul gets to actually fight a real boxer. So in Jake Paul's thing, he's going to have a massive size advantage. Now, Tank does have some of the biggest power in boxing, which should carry, but we'll see in that fight. On the Tank Davis side, Tank Davis was a guy that people thought he's a massive pay-per-view star, only behind Canelo Alvarez in terms of sales. This guy, Turki Al-Sheikh, who we saw earlier this week with Dana White announcing that the UFC is going to Paramount Plus. Turki Al-Sheikh was kind of behind that. Turki Al-Sheikh has single-handedly saved the sport of boxing by paying for the fights, paying for the site fees, and almost taking it at a loss for Saudi Arabia to just put on the fights fans want to see by paying the fighters. Tank Davis never went with him because Tank Davis can sell all by himself, so he's been able to pick B-level fighters. His biggest win was when he fought Ryan Garcia and he took him out in the 7th round. People forget in that fight he weight trained Ryan Garcia. He only let Ryan Garcia get 10 pounds up the day of the fight, which you can't rehydrate much after 12 o'clock on fight day. So he's fought a lot of B-level guys. Everyone thought Tank Davis could be a top pound-for-pound fighter. He's found this. And then you lose to Lamont Roach or you have a draw. I think he lost the fight. And then he goes on to fight Jake Paul. It's kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing that he's calling himself a fighter right now. I guess he wants to retire, but that's a shame. In terms of the fight, it will actually be an interesting fight if it's real. In terms of, I think it will because Tank's a real active fighter, not Mike Tyson, who's 57 years old. It's like Tank's power is gonna carry, but Jake Paul is gonna have a bunch of weight on him. Jake Paul is gonna be jabbing the entire time, trying to keep him off him. It's gonna be about if Tank can get inside on him and land his signature left uppercut. If he does, it's gonna be night for Jake. But we're gonna see if Jake actually can fight against a real fighter. So it's going to be, I will be watching, but we'll see how it goes.
Maybe we'll be out at Circa for it, watching in the sportsbook. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't even like Tank's really frustrating me by taking this fight. I don't even like Jake Paul.
So that's the other side of things is you think Tank should have had a rematch with Roach.
Yeah,
And Roach
100%.
thinks he should have had the rematch. Obviously, he's saying he's ducking it.
Right, Roach is like, because he knows Roach should have won that fight.
But if you're Tank, you're going after the money too.
Right, and he's going to make $100 million on this thing, $150 million. It's just Tank's kind of out of boxing now. It's like you're not really in a stacked weight class with Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, a lot of names.
Sammy, if I got offered to do a fake radio show somewhere for a lot more money than I make right now, sorry, bye.
We'll
Look,
see.
I get it, but he's worked his way to this. Like,
It's
this
funny
is the
though
whole
that,
point.
like Tank though is small. Like this is he could lose. This is not crazy. Like Jake Paul is not. You said it.
He's got power.
He's not an awful fighter. Like he has him. This is not Logan Paul, who's a joke. That was a gimmick against Mayweather and all that stuff. He actually does train and has gotten better. So does the weight advantage matter? I don't know. We'll see, but it'll be interesting.
All right, take a quick break. We'll get back to the Padres at 12:30. Plus, we'll have a 4-pack of tickets for you to go see Nelly coming up this hour. But coming up next, there is a change in the format of one of the biggest golf tournaments of the year, which is getting started this weekend. Let's talk about it and why you should be watching this week. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
How does $21 million sound? That's what we were just talking about. Fletch and I are heading out to Vegas today. Very excited to be put up at Circa Sportsbook. You can play either Circa Million or Circa Survivor. $21 million in guaranteed prizes if you win. $6 million for Circa Survivor and $15 million for Circa Million. Let me tell you about Circa Survivor first. Circa Survivor, you pick one team each week. You don't worry about point totals. You don't worry about the spread, any of that. You just pick one team each week. So if you think, let's say if you think the Bills are going to beat the Ravens in week 1 on Sunday Night Football, if you pick the Bills and they win, you advance to week 2. But then you cannot pick the Bills later on that season. It's just a typical Survivor pool, except you don't have to worry about your buddies stiffing you on payment. You're playing with Circa where they know how to do things. In Circa Million, you pick 5 games against the spread each week. If you're like Circa Survivor, that's a little too risky for me. My heart's gonna be palpitating a little bit too much, sweating one game out. Then you pick 5 games against the spread each week. I mean, week 1, you got some juicy lines right here. Ravens, Bills -1.5. Cincy -5.5 against the Browns. Chiefs favored by 3.5 now in Brazil against the Chargers after Rashawn Slater injury. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers favored by 3 on the road in New York, taking on Justin Fields and the Jets. A lot of interesting picks to go on there. Again, all you got to do is pick 5 games each week against the spread. It's $1,000 to sign up. You can get 10 of your friends, go $100 each, or just go all in the 1,000 yourself. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere, and win your money now with Circa.
San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back in Las Vegas. Live performances from Bryan Adams, Ed Sheeran, Mariah Carey, Maroon 5, Sammy Hagar, The Offspring, Tim McGraw, and more. September 19th and 20th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 2 nights, 1 stage. Buy tickets now at AXS.com. Get them now before they sell out. And while the world is listening on the free iHeartRadio app, you could be there. 3 chances every weekday for you to win your trip for 2, plus $1,000 spending cash. Next chance to text and win happens at 1 o'clock right here on San Diego Sports 760. All the info at sportsSD.com/festival. Speaking of Vegas, Sammy and I'll be out there over the next couple nights, heading out to Circa Resort, doing a couple shows from there, putting a bunch of money on this NFL season. Can't wait for it. Going to be a lot of fun. Golf. Big tournament coming up this weekend. It's the Tour Championship. You know, in Happy Gilmore, when they are playing for the Tour Championship, this is a not that, but that. So as everybody in the PGA Tour season, all season long, they stack up their FedEx points. They take the top 30 in FedEx points on the season, and they get to compete this week at East Lake. Now, what's different about this year's Tour Championship, which the purse is still $40 million, what's different about this year's PG or Tour Championship from previous years is previous years, depending on where you finished in FedEx Cup points, you would get additional negative strokes to start the tournament. So like if Scotty Scheffler, who is the points leader this year, he would essentially have
a 2-stroke lead.
A 2-stroke lead going into the rest of the field at the beginning of the tournament. Not the case this year. Everyone is starting at even. So all 30 people who have qualified for this are starting on even ground. And Scotty Scheffler actually had a nice comment about it. He said, so I guess I won't be able to sandbag this year, which sandbagging in golf is when you're a better golfer than your handicap would say, so that you're able to take advantage of your friends in money games out on the golf course. Scotty Scheffler is going to be the same as number 30 on the list this year. Sammy, do you have the betting odds for this weekend's tournament?
So out of the 30, Scotty is still he's a plus 150 favorite.
By the way, lowest odds since Tiger in 2009.
Unbelievable. Rory second at plus 850. Tommy Fleetwood's plus 1400. Russell Henley's plus 1800, and Aberg is plus 1800.
Ludwig Aberg.
Very
handsome man.
Then Justin Thomas, Cantlay, JJ Spawn. So it's really essentially him versus the field. That's basically what they're telling you. Rory with a little bit of an edge, you know, maybe in a big tournament like this, he kind of gets it together. But this is fun. Yeah, it felt like it's been fun over the last few weeks watching the PGA Tour and how there's been, not only are you watching the top of it of who's going to win the tournament, but almost what's more interesting is who made the cut in the top 70 2 weeks ago, and then who made the top 50 last weekend going in this top 30. I like it. It's cool that Scotty Scheffler was like, yeah, I didn't like starting with a stroke lead. It felt like, you know, yeah, you're winning all this money, and there's $30 million up for this thing. 40, excuse me. So
first place gets 10.
So it's like, Scotty's so cold. He knows that he's better than everyone, and he's probably still going to win this thing. But it's fun for a PGA Tour from a betting perspective, even to not start with a 2-stroke lead. Scotty's a plus 150 lead right now when they're all starting from even. If he was a 2-stroke favorite already, that thing would probably be minus 150, minus 125, something like that. Betting is something that really also has helped golf a lot because it's fun. Live betting tournaments, it's fun. You can get really good golfers at good prices in Vegas or on your apps. So I'm glad they're doing this. I'm excited to watch the FedEx Cup this weekend and see who wins this thing.
We'll be able to watch some of it in the sports book.
Yes, we got who. Okay, you're our golf guy on the show. Give me a name outside of Scotty that maybe deeper down the list that you think you would not be surprised if it's in the running on Sunday.
If it was a couple months ago, I would have gone with Ludwig Aberg. He's been struggling a little more recently. Tommy Fleetwood's been playing amazing golf, except for on Sundays. That's where Scotty really strikes. So it's tough. Ludwig would probably be my choice. JJ Spawn's in the field, right?
I was about to say that. Are you surprised that JJ Spawn's plus 2,700?
I am a little surprised about that.
That seems odd. Like this
that
guy
might be worth a little coinage, a little sprinkle.
San Diego State sprinkle.
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, and it's also fun in a field of 30 because you can it's 1 to 30. Now, obviously, not every guy has the same opportunity, but golf is also a really fun sport to live bet because after a round, you know, Scotty's countlessly people make a bunch of money on Scotty because he's not leading after the first 2 days, and then he just takes over in the final. But really excited. This is you kind of mentioned it before our segment. Like this is a Super Bowl of golf, kind of one of, you know, the Masters obviously Super Bowl, but it's
like an NFC Championship of golf.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I'd say the Masters is the Super Bowl, U.S. Open is the AFC Championship. maybe Tour Championship and the British Open are both divisional games, divisional matchups.
Is it fun? Do you like seeing Scotty just dominate everyone, or do you like it when there's new names in there?
If it keeps going for another year, I will say I like watching Scotty dominate everyone more. But I listened to a 2.5 hour podcast about this the other day because I'm a little bit of a sicko. But talking about what the PGA Tour would be right now if the live split hadn't happened. And Scotty would not be on this same run if Bryson and Rahm and DJ and Koepka were all still playing in all these events. Like, it would be impossible for Scotty to continue this run. He's still the best player in the world. He's better than all those guys. But if they were all pushing him every week, it's different than having Jordan Spieth, who's kind of on the back end of his career, Justin Thomas on the back end, Rory, who shows up for big stuff, but is so in his head about other things. It would just be different if there was bigger competition. So it's almost like you have to take an asterisk on Scotty Scheffler and this run that he's been on.
I turned on the live tournament on Saturday morning or Sunday morning
because for me it's unwatchable.
No, I was about to get to that. It's awful. Like, the production, the greens are even terrible. The greens aren't even kept. Like, it really is. Like, you just wonder with these guys like DeChambeau and everything. Like, hey, you're getting paid, but they were getting paid anyway, massive amount of money. And I guess if I'm
not like this,
not like that, I guess I would shut up and just play golf in the Live Tour too. But you do wonder, like, these guys are going to look back and be like, yeah, I just how do you get out of bed when they're literally the top 5 every time?
Yeah. Okay. To answer your question, I like Harris English. He's going to be huge plus money. I like Bhatia. He's going to be huge plus money. And give me a little Colin Morikawa. There's 3 names.
Morikawa's plus 3,000.
That might be worth a little sprinkle too. What if we go like $10 on each of those guys?
I like that. Yeah, what if
and then Scotty's just going to dominate
honestly,
the whole
we
field.
should just get Scotty at plus 150
just go
right now.
50 on Scotty and then just be cool with it. Win the same amount of money.
It was kind of like betting against the Patriots when they were on the dynasty. It was like you knew what was going to happen.
All right, quick break and back to Padres we go. By the way, Nelly tickets coming up on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app.
This sport is sponsored by Aleve. Boxing stars Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis are going to be fighting November 14th in Atlanta. That'll be live on Netflix in an exhibition bout. And the Padres will be back tonight live from Petco. They won last night 5-1 over the Giants. They'll be back tonight, same time, same place, 6:40. JP Sears will be on the mound for the Padres after getting touched up a couple times ago. And Landon Roop will be going for the Giants. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day with just one pill. Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy along with you till 2. John and Jim will take over then. 4-pack of Nelly tickets coming up within the next 7 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Sammy, the Powerball lottery is up to $643 million. I'm pretty convinced I'm going to win or my brother's going to win, which is essentially like me winning. Tonight's the drawing. If I win $643 million tonight, what are you spending my money on?
Well, what am I spending your money on?
Yeah, you're going to get a cut. Not a huge cut, but you're going to get a cut.
Right into my Roth IRA account.
Okay, I don't think you could have a Roth IRA account unless you know how to say it. It's a Roth IRA, you ding dong. Clip that. Social.
That's
done for today.
There's certain people listening that's the smart way to deal with your money.
Of course, it's the smart thing, but you don't even know how to say it.
How much money am I getting?
About, dude?
How much money am I getting?
Enough to not need a Roth IRA.
Well, probably some bottle service somewhere. Definitely signing up for multiple Circa Million and Circa Survivors. Like
probably a Roth IRA.
probably 10 account, and then I'm gonna load up my Roth IRA and make sure it's all good to go for when I'm like 80, and hopefully I'm not broke by that point. And everything, All
right.
What are you spending your money on?
Dude, it's $643 million. It doesn't matter. You do whatever you want. That is your Roth IRA.
Guess what? You put the Roth IRA in there with how much money? However money you want to put in there?
It's an IRA.
Guess what
it's
it is?
An investment retirement account. It's not an IRA.
That's what us in the industry call it, a Roth IRA.
Wow. This day just keeps getting better.
Hey, so the Padres played last night.
I got 2 full days with Sammy coming up. This is going to be fun, man. We're going to be travel companions. I don't know. What side of the bed do you like to sleep in?
What? We're not sharing a room.
What are you talking about? Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Do you like the one closest to the door or the one that's closer to the window?
We have 2 different rooms.
Yes, we do.
I was about to say, I'm not going if we're sharing a room.
Yes, the Padres did play last night. They got a win over the San Francisco Giants. Good to see after 4 straight losses. After what did it end up getting to? Was it 37 consecutive innings where they were trailing? I think that's right. It was 34 heading into the game. But Padres get the win yesterday. And that's important because the Dodgers also won. You keep that 2-game buffer between you and the Dodgers, or the Dodgers keep that 2-game buffer. But heading into this weekend, the division is still in grasp. Now, what happened in between pitches last night was almost more entertaining than what was happening in the game. You had a 10-year-old kid in the 8th inning when Jason Adam was on the mound who got out of the stands and started running on the field, juking the hell out of some security people, by the way.
That kid needs to be a running back.
Kid's got some wheels. But did you see on the broadcast, they were zoomed in on Jason Adams' face when this was happening, and you could see him go, oh, when this kid gets drilled, man.
Textbook tackle from security.
All right, but they already had him wrapped up, so that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
easy.
He came in with a little shot there at the end. I was like, dude,
the forward momentum was stopped. There was no more progress happening on the play. And then you go cheap shot, you go lower back hit. You're talking about ending a career.
Now, to be fair to the security guard, and it was excessive. It was excessive, but people are bashing this guy today. That is his job. If this was an adult, we wouldn't be saying this. And
it's 10 years old.
No, I agree. I agree with you. But it did seem like on the video, he, like you said, he couldn't stop his forward momentum. And honestly,
I'm saying the kid's forward momentum was stopped already.
No, I know. But also, the guy coming from the other side probably couldn't tell if it was a kid or not.
Maybe. I don't know. It was a pretty little guy, man. He looked like a little kid to me when I saw the video.
By the way, like who's parent? Like who are the parents here?
I'm more proud of those parents than anybody.
Why?
Because your kid's looking up to you saying, Dad, can I go run out on the field? And you say, you know what, son, go make me proud.
What? So he can get leveled by the red coach?
I don't think the dad saw that coming.
Well,
that's chaos.
He should have. What,
No.
okay,
Here's my thought.
What if he runs over to Tatis and kicks him? Are we saying something different here? Okay. No, this is not.
What are you talking about? He was running around Tatis. He loves Tatis.
No, I'm not
He's
saying
not going to go
did.
kick
I'm
him.
saying you can't have that.
Here's my theory. Can I throw this out there? I think security guard was a little pissed off at this kid because this kid was making the security guards look stupid for a little bit because this kid was running circles around them. This kid, I don't know if he's a soccer player or what. He's got spatial awareness on all sides of him. And he has that lateral quickness that you see it in a 10-year-old. I'm telling you, someone call Dabo Sweeney. This kid needs a scholarship because he's going to grow up to be a hell of an athlete. And you already see it in him. He's athletic. Most 10-year-olds, have you seen a 10-year-old run, Sammy?
They need to get that security guard a contract too, play linebacker.
10-year-olds can't run. They're like awkward giraffes or awkward little ponies who just come out of the womb. They can't really control all their facilities yet. This 10-year-old could run. I'm proud of him today.
Wow. I guess that's what's people are killing this poor security guard. It's like he was doing his job. To be fair to him.
His job is child abuse.
Oh
God,
please.
Sammy.
So we can just let kids run all over the field.
Grow a heart one time. Let the kid have his day.
So JP Sears is going tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. I'll be honest.
Well, this is a thing. So we're talking about we need the Padres to go 3-1 in this
Sammy
series.
is the master of the subject change. He really is.
They're 1-1 so far, obviously in this series. This is interesting too because everyone wrote off JP Sears. His first start, he was disastrous. Everyone was like, "All right, you got sent out of the minors." Well, now, you know, and we're kind of thinking at that time that the rotation was set. We looked at Cortez. Cortez was, I believe, in his first outing, gave up 2 runs. Then he really kind of settled in, had a nice outing. Nick Pivetta has been money all year for the Padres, and at the time, Dylan Cease and Yu Darvish had both gotten back on track. Well, now we're looking at tonight. Like, this is a real opportunity for JP Sears because everyone kind of casts his dude aside, and maybe he's not that. Maybe he gets blown up again tonight, and we're talking about this guy can't be pitching for the Padres. But the starting rotation has been awful for the Padres the last week. Cease was terrible. Darvish was terrible. I know we got it together a little bit after, but still, you can't give up 4 runs in the first inning. Cortez obviously had a really tough night on Monday night, giving up 3 home runs in the first. So if I'm JP Sears, I'm looking at this game like this is a real opportunity going against a team that has had real trouble hitting the ball, even though they have scored 5 runs in the first inning. That's been their only production on offense in over the 2 days. So this is a real opportunity for JP Sears. I'm curious how he performs in this because if he performs well and one of these guys don't get it together, your Yu Darvishes, your Dylan Ceases, your Nestor Cortez, I mean, this guy could have a spot in the rotation heading forward.
Yeah, if you're the Padres, I don't know that you're relying on JP Sears to be the guy that comes in and saves the day.
I think it's a problem if he's starting a playoff game
for sure
because it says more about the fact that Cease and Darvish didn't get it together, who are names that you would obviously much more likely trust going into a playoff series.
AJ Preller's had a ridiculous hit rate on bringing in starting pitchers who at one point had a little juice around him, but then it kind of cooled off. Like you think about Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, hell, Nick Pivetta this year. AJ Preller's very good at this. He's not 100%. JP Sears might be the not 100% type. It seems his first outing was a disaster. I'm rooting for him. I am, and tonight's a good night to do it against the Giants. Maybe he can bring something back. But I wouldn't get totally over your skis if he goes out and looks really good tonight because it is the Giants.
And totally. And you wonder if like let's just say he was good. Let's just play hypothetical over the next couple starts for JP Sears. He plays well and people start talking about JP Sears. Cortez was a bullpen guy. Obviously got lit up by Freddie Freeman in the World Series, but that's where he came from. He could be moved to kind of a middle of the rotation length guy in the middle. But this is a really interesting week for the Padres because every game is feeling like a kind of a do or die game. You really want to get back on track. Obviously, Dodgers coming in this weekend, and the whole them getting jumped on early by these teams, by the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers makes some sense because they obviously have a good lineup. But the Giants is crazy to me that they're giving up this many runs in the first inning. The whole part of having a great bullpen, why you trade Leo DeVries to get a guy in Mason Miller, is the fact that you want to get leads and hold it because you think that if you get a lead, you're counting on your guys to hold it. The starting pitching has to get it figured out because they can't be giving up these leads all the time and then having to play the bullpen, and Schilt constantly has to deal with, oh, do I play the high leverage guys tonight even though we're down 2 runs, or do I throw him out there? Do I only play 2 or 3? They got to start getting leads early in these games.
11 series left for the San Diego Padres, not including these 2 games remaining against the Giants. After that, it's 11 series left. I think that shakes out to around 6 more times through the rotation. That means they got 6 more times through the rotation to figure out who's going to be their 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 in the postseason.
What pitcher are you most concerned about right now?
Michael King, 100%. Where the hell is he? Is he going to get back to being Michael King by the time the postseason comes around? Yu Darvish, I don't know what he is since coming back from injury. He's looked good at times. He's looked awful at times. Dylan Cease, for some reason, I feel like Dylan Cease is going to get it figured out. I think he had a little speed bump in his last start, but I kind of think Dylan Cease is going to be there by the time the end of the year comes around, and he's going to be pretty good. Nick Pivetta, not worried about him at all. Dude's a gamer. I love watching Nick Pivetta play baseball.
Well, it's amazing the fact that AJ Preller signed him. I mean, this team would be not even discussed for the playoffs.
He plays pissed, and I like that.
He does. If Nick Pivetta was not on this team, there's no way they're going on a deep playoff run. You have to have a guy that's going to be there. Darvish, the one thing I'll say for him is he's gotten touched up in the first couple innings, but he does give you some innings after. He doesn't just get pulled from the game. Cease's problem is he literally is either feast or famine, and when he's famine, he's only going 2 or 3 innings and he's getting pulled, and then you're having to go to the bullpen early.
Feast or famine. That should be on a t-shirt, maybe. It's San Diego Sports 760. Coming up next, we got long shots. Right now, your opportunity to go see Nelly out at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. A 4-pack of tickets. For tickets and info, you can visit Ticketmaster.com. But if you want to go to the August 27th show down in Chula Vista, call right now, 877-767-4760. Let's go with caller number 3, Sammy. We're going to get it going early today. Caller number 3, you're going to the show. San Diego Sports 760. You can find us on AM 760, and AM radio keeps vital voices accessible. Congress can secure its future, but we need your help. Text AM to 52886 right now to support keeping AM radio in cars. Tell your member of Congress to pass legislation now and keep AM radio in cars. Standard message and data rates do apply. Let's get to some of these texts that have come in so far. 70470, start your message with team. We were talking about the Powerball lottery. 858 says Sammy would spend it all for sure.
Hell yeah. First thing I would buy definitely would be a like if I signed an NFL draft contract, my hands would still be warm from the pen that I was signing right to the Ferrari lot.
I bet you would, and that's why you'd be broke, or maybe you'd spend it all on your Roth.
Then we go to the Roth IRA. Because the IRA cancels out the fact that we have a depreciating value in a car.
IRA. Alexander on YouTube says Sammy will purchase new silk shirts for Vegas, which that'll run you what, $600-700?
Yeah. We get, and guess what, Alexander? We can afford it. That's what's the best part about it.
Alexander also says you would waste thousands of dollars on long shots.
Oh, that's so foul. Leading right into the segment.
I didn't say it. Alexander said it.
I've won this week.
You have won this week once out of two. You're hitting
1 out of 2.
You're hitting 500. 500's good.
Again, I want to make something clear for everyone. This is called long shots. I'm doing 3-leg parlays. If I'm giving money lines and I miss 5 days in a row, then I understand being pissed off. But listen, they're not. If we were bankrupt in the casino, you're not supposed to hit a parlay. Just want to make that clear for everyone.
How's it looking for today, Sammy?
We're feeling good. We got a lot of pitching pitchers going today.
I like it. Well, do we not need to waste any more time? Should we get right to it? Sammy Long, smash that button.
Let's see. Underdogs? Nah, that's old. Those with a less than good chance of winning? Too wordy. Wait, he's all big time now, huh? It's time for Sammy's Long Shots. Hold on. Can't talk until I say the important stuff. Long Shots is presented by Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Now, go.
I do think next week, maybe we're going to have AI do long shots one day.
Why? What does AI know that I don't?
Probably a lot.
Don't fall prey to AI, Ben Fletcher.
I'm guessing.
No, I'm just kidding. Unless AI is listening, we love you. You're very valuable. And
when you take over, make sure you spare a certain radio show in San Diego. You can take Travis Dale. Keep him. You could have him.
Big TD?
He's talked so much about robots and Terminators and Will Smith. Just go ahead and take Travis Dale. But Sammy and I love
he's
robots.
talking crap about the movies, not really real AI.
Yeah, but he kind of thinks that's where we're leading, is into some sort of mix between Terminator, iRobot, and Minority Report.
I watched that. Speaking of,
Minority Report's a great flick.
Great movie. I watched it way too young. I was like 10. I watched Minority Report. You know, like the kid gets stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying.
You know, Tom Cruise in Minority Report looks pretty much the same as Tom Cruise now.
That's
the dude doesn't age.
Tom Cruise is a movie star. Like when you like this dude, he doesn't worry about Oscars. He just makes movies that people want to see.
And we love you for it.
Sammy's soapbox of the day. All right, guess what? Long shots is here.
Sammy's soapbox of the day.
Sammy's soapbox of the day. That could be a new segment, actually.
Maybe.
Just a thought. We're going with The Miz. Okay, now The Miz, I have doubted The Miz a couple times. I think twice on long shots, and he has burned me both times. So we're going to trust The Miz today. One of the hottest young pitching prospects. He was hurt for a little bit, came out on fire, absolutely abused the Dodgers. Had like 12 strikeouts in a game there, and the Brewers really did have. They're 6-0 against the Dodgers this year. They're playing the Cubs today. Now, the Cubs actually won both games in the doubleheader last night, which is actually not great for the Padres. The Padres you're rooting for, you're probably not catching the Brewers, so you probably just want them to beat the Cubs, so it drops them in the standings. But the Cubs have actually kind of turned a corner. Still massive questions about the bullpen, but the Cubs are playing better despite Pete Crow Armstrong's recent struggles. So we're going to go, but Jacob Mizorowski, the Miz, more than 5 pitch to strikeouts. This is a low number for him. Usually this is for the Miz around 6.5. I've seen 7.5 for the Miz. We're going to go more than, because also I think he's going to be able to go a long ways in this game. The Cubs have been playing better. The fact that there was a doubleheader yesterday, bullpens were used, a lot of pitchers were used. So we're going to go more 5 pitch to strikeouts. I think this is very manageable, even though I do think it will be a very good game. So more than 5 pitch strikeouts for the Miz. Then we're going to go Sandy Alcantara. For Miami, more than 4.5 pitch to strikeouts, taking on St. Louis. Quietly, Alcantara has really, and Coach Quintero said this on our show, comes on every Thursday at 1:30. He's like, That's why he was such a valuable piece of the deadline. Everyone wanted him, even though his ERA was like 7+ heading into that Padre game, because his stuff was back. And last year, this was a guy who was one of the top like young pitchers in the game. It really struggled at the beginning of this year and last year, but had kind of recovered from those injuries, and his stuff has been better. Quietly, he's been playing better. 7 pitcher strikeouts against Boston, 4 against Atlanta, 5 against Houston, 4 against St. Louis, and 4 against San Diego. He had 4 against St. Louis last time. I think he gets him more today. 4.5, more than 4.5. He's been pitching very well against the St. Louis Cardinals, whose bats have been struggling a little bit. And then, so I have 3 different options here. Okay, but I can't decide which one I want to go with. Now, Padres pitchers have been tough to us on long shots, but we did win last week. Cortez delivered for us with the 5 pitcher strikeouts on Monday. We're going to go JP Sears, less than 4.5 hits, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if he doesn't have it in this game, I think there could be a lot of walks from JP Sears, not necessarily hits given up, and Schultz going to pull him fast. Bullpen didn't have to come out in massive use last night. I think JP Sears is locked in. It's a big opportunity for him, and the Giants also can't hit. They can't hit past the second inning. Okay? 4.5 hits feels like a big number to me. I'm not going 5 pitcher strikeouts. That feels too high for a guy that we don't know what we're dealing with. But 4.5 hits, I feel like it's too high of a number for him, because if he gets in trouble, he's going to get pulled from this game. Less than 4.5 hits for JP Sears. You don't look like you like that over there.
I don't think I do. But I have faith in Sammy. He got us a winner this week.
Okay, or do you want Shohei Ohtani more than 6 pitcher strikeouts because the Dodgers are going to go deep into the pen tonight?
Definitely don't want that.
Deep into the innings.
I don't want that.
Okay, so it's JP Sears. We're one of the few radio shows in San Diego today that are putting faith in JP Sears. But, hey, the public, what do we know? When the public feels one way, where do we go?
Public's stupid.
That's a great thing to yell at for our listeners.
No, the betting public.
The betting public. That's what he means.
Our listeners are insiders. All right, I don't hate it. Let's roll with it.
Sandy Alcantara, more than 4.5 pitcher strikeouts. Jacob Mizorowski for the Milwaukee Brewers against Chicago, more than 5 pitcher strikeouts. JP Sears, less than 4.5 hits allowed. JP, this is Sammy Long. This is Sammy Long talking to you. You're new in town. I'm sure you're getting adjusted. Families moved down here, get in the house. Everything's settled now. I need you to be big time tonight.
Yeah, JP, don't F this up, dude, or Sammy's going to come find you. And he's crazy. Sammy knows how to kick, all right?
I know about a Roth IRA, dude.
He knows all about Roth IRAs. Don't mess with his.
JP Sears know about a Roth IRA? I don't think so.
Hey, so of the things that San Diego has gotten from Boston, Xander Bogaerts has been a bit of a disappointment. Now he has time to turn that around. If he's part of a World Series winning team here, we're going to love the fact that Xander Bogaerts came here from Boston. But Don Orsillo, I think, is the best thing that we've gotten from Boston here in San Diego. And you know that because Boston fan pages still clamor about how could the Boston Red Sox have let Don Orsillo go. Don Orsillo was just ranked number 1 in Awful Announcing's MLB broadcaster poll, which was a fan-submitted 3,000 fans, diehard baseball fans, all ranked A, B, C, D, E, or F on broadcast teams. Don and Mud, number 1. How about that?
Wow.
Don and Mud are fantastic, man. They do a really, really great job. I think usually the winners for this are actually the Giants broadcasters, Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow. And then who's the radio guy? He's been doing it forever. John Miller used to be the voice of ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. But good for Don, good for Mud. They are fantastic. They're about as good as it gets. Feel very lucky to have them in our living rooms on a nightly basis. All right, quick break here. Hour number 2 coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760. Let's lock something down that we're going to be doing in Vegas. And I'm not talking about Texas Roadhouse, even though that's going to happen.
What? That's debatable.
That's going to happen. Those buns, man.
Sammy,
the buns.
I don't like you making plans without
so good.
You can go buy yourself Texas Roadhouse.
I might. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hour 2 next.
This sport is sponsored by SDG&E. Padres back tonight. Dodgers won last night as well as the Padres, so nothing changes in the NL West. The game tonight will be at 6:40. Padres currently minus 155 on the money line. JP Sears will be going for the Padres, while Landon Roop will be going for the Giants. In peak wildfire season, as a last resort, SDG&E may need to shut off power in specific areas for public safety. Learn more about public safety power shutoffs at sdgne.com/PSPS.
It's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Today we are here in San Diego. Tomorrow we will be out in Las Vegas. Actually, about 5 hours from right now, we will be out in Las Vegas. Sammy and I heading out for a couple of shows out at the Circa Hotel in Las Vegas on Fremont Street. Can't wait for it. One of, if not, no, I'll just say it. It is the coolest sports book I've ever been in my life. I went there for Jake Paul, Mike Tyson last year and for an Aztecs football game. The place is incredible. Can't wait for Sammy to see it. You're going to walk in and just all of a sudden be in sports heaven, Sammy. I'm excited for that first look you give to the sports book. I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm very excited. Very excited to get out there. And
now it is going to be like 108 degrees when we're there. Are you prepared for that?
Dude, I'm from Palm Springs, so that ain't a problem for me.
We'll stay inside most of the time. How about that? I did ask ChatGPT what the best bets of the week will be while we're there in Las Vegas. And it gave me the answer that Russell Henley to win the Tour Championship at 20-1 odds is.
What's the reasoning behind that?
AI's favorite bet. It's because he's playing in strong form right now and he has a great fit for the East Lake course. And he's 20-1.
So that's the best value play, they're saying.
That's what AI is saying. Do you like AI or are you more of a gut guy?
I'm more of a gut guy, but listen, AI can earn my trust if Russell Henley wins this thing.
Are you going to be willing to miss out on it, or are we going to throw some shekels on it?
Well, you're the golf guy. What do you think about Russell Henley winning the whole thing?
I like Russell Henley a lot. I mean, it wasn't one of the names that I picked off when you were asking me what I thought earlier today. But, you know, if computers think that Russell Henley is a nice fit for the golf course, if 20-1 is a good number for the computer, maybe we're getting him at a little bit of a value. I think I'm all in for it.
That could be a segment, us picking against the AI.
Us versus AI, we'll lose.
Well, with that kind of attitude, 100% we will.
They also really like for tonight's game, the Nationals money line versus the Mets. Nats are at plus 145, and they think the Nats are going to win.
Really?
Okay. Something to think about.
Let's track it. We'll track it. We'll see if they come in.
I'll screenshot this. I'll save it, and we'll see. We'll compare what ChatGPT does to actual sports world. All right, we're going to get back to the Padres in a little bit. We got the big 3 of hour number 2 coming up in just a couple seconds. This is San Diego Sports 760. If you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long. This is what we do. We talk sports, how people talk sports at a bar. And if you like to be a part of that, come on in. Welcome to the party. Of course, we are going to focus on the Padres and the San Diego State Aztecs and SDFC. We're interviewing the head coach in a little bit, Mikey Varas. But we like to talk sports like guys talk sports at a bar. And what do guys do at the bar, Sammy? They bet. So
we do.
And we're going to Vegas for a couple days, and we're going to bet a lot. All right, let's get to the big 3 where Sammy takes us through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? Coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The big 3.
I can almost smell the cigarettes, Sammy. I really can.
I'm so excited.
You just, as soon as you open the door from your plane onto the airport, start walking around Harry O'Reed, it's like you just get blasted right in the face with stale cigarettes. Which isn't a smell I usually like, but it does make you feel like you're home.
I've been to Vegas before. I know.
No, I know. I'm just kind of setting the scene for everybody else and mentally preparing myself.
Yeah, you seem like you're trying to psych yourself up.
I really don't like the smell of cigarette smoke. I don't like the smell of Vegas in general.
I love it. It just smells like there's opportunity. It's the land of opportunity. Let's go to the NFL. Titans Cam Ward has a scuffle with star defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons.
Ooh.
Says, happy he's my teammate. Any reaction to the number 1 overall pick getting in a scuffle with one of the stars on the team?
I kind of love it. I honestly, I do. Not to turn this around to my Niners, but the reports out of Niners training camp are that Nick Bosa and Trent Williams have been begging to play against each other every step of the way in training camp, and they've been fighting the entire training camp. But as soon as they get off the field, they're like, look, if you want to be the best, you got to face the best. And so you got one of the best defensive linemen going against one of the best left tackles in all of football. This is what rookies should be doing. Cam Ward should be getting in the face of Simmons. This is a good thing, and I think it shows a little fight out of him. All positive. And he said the right thing. I'm glad he's on my team.
Yeah, I'm in like a bigger question. It's funny how Cam Ward really has not gotten the press of a number 1 overall pick.
Zero play. It's Shedeur Sanders' fault.
It's Shedeur Sanders. Jackson Dart showing out in the preseason has certainly taken some eyeballs away from Cam Ward. But
and Jackson Dart's like TikTok famous. Where'd that come from?
He's also played in. I think it's because Cam Ward, unless you're a Pac-12 football fan, people didn't know Cam Ward because he played at Washington State before he played at Miami. So it was really only one season where Cam Ward was on the national stage, whereas Jackson Dart played at Ole Miss, played at USC, played for some really big brand colleges that people were seeing all the time. But I love this. I love that he's kind of taking control of this team, and I'm really excited about Cam Ward. Like, Cam Ward is a guy that it feels like he was a beast. He had Miami in the college football playoff discussion. I know the ACC is not the conference that maybe it used to be, or didn't have the depth of the SEC, obviously, or the Big Ten. But this guy could ball, and the reason Miami didn't get in is because the defense was awful. The defense was horrible, but the offense put up video game like numbers. Cam Ward was great at Washington State when he had no one around him. I remember he played my Trojans and absolutely took it to USC. So like there's a massive talent here, and it feels like Tennessee got one. And they're not winning the division because they're not talented enough, but they could make some noise in that division because there's not really a team in that division with Houston, Jacksonville, and Indianapolis that you're looking at and going, they're so much better than everyone else. Like Indianapolis feels like they're kind of in shambles. I can see them finishing ahead of them. And then I think it's kind of the Texans should be the favorite. I like Jacksonville in that division, but every team has massive question marks with it. I think Cam Ward's going to be a very talented player. So let's head up the up road north. So the Dodgers. So Ohtani may be using relief after being told beforehand. There's been a lot of speculation. Would he be coming out of the bullpen? And Dave Roberts, basically everyone in the Dodger organization has shut that down. Been like, he's not going to be using relief. Well, Dave Roberts today said he can absolutely see Shohei in a bullpen during the playoffs. Do you think this is a massive mistake for the Dodgers?
So what would their rotation be? Would be Glasnow, Snell,
Yamamoto,
and then Ohtani
Kershaw.
out of the pen?
Yeah. Well, just because he's coming out of the pen doesn't mean that he couldn't, like, he might start a game one, but then not pitch again that series until be a bullpen arm later in the series.
Yeah, it's kind of like what the Giants would do with Madison Bumgarner.
Exactly.
In the postseason, they would let him start game one, and then he'd be available for you in game 3 or 4 out of the bullpen. I like it. That seems pretty commonplace in baseball. Dave Roberts would be silly if he wasn't thinking to do that.
Do you have concerns though, considering like if he gets injured again?
No, use him as much as you want. He's a Dodger. I don't care.
But I'm saying if you're managing the Dodgers, do you think that's a smart move to be throwing him that much?
If I'm managing the Dodgers, I don't know that I view Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher. I really don't. I view him as a maybe a pinch hitter late in games.
Wait, so you would have him pitching and not hitting?
I would have him doing neither. I would just have him we use him once every couple of weeks as a pinch hitter. I'd really try to keep him out of there, protect him. He's got all sorts of gambling scandals. He's got a housing crisis that he's started in Hawaii. So I'm staying away from Shohei Ohtani.
Sounds like that's why you're not going to be a Major League Baseball manager.
Bad press around Shohei Ohtani. So I don't know if I'm even looking at him.
This is an interesting thing for the Dodgers. It's just you're like, it's like you have a Maserati, you're paying him all this money, but he's fantastic hitting. So, and he's a great pitcher, but then you worry about he has had multiple injuries, multiple arm injuries.
It's funny you went with the Maserati. My initial thing that I was going to say about this, instead of what I was kind of bashing him, was that it's like you got dealt an ace in Texas Hold'em, and you're like, nah, don't need it.
Right, but you paid him all the money. The weird thing for the Dodgers is that they paid him all this money. Any other team, if you paid him $700 million, would go, he needs to be playing as much as possible. The Dodgers, because they're able to defer so much, and Dodgers are just printing money with the Ohtani branding and the tapping into the Asian market. The fact that in Japan the World Series was higher rated than in America, which is kind of unfathomable, but it just shows you the magnitude, the star power of Shohei Ohtani over there. But it's odd. Like David Vassay has brought this up. Like, let's say he is coming out of the pen. How is he like? What happens if the Dodgers get on a run? Like he can't just run back and forth to be warming up to then go hit to then come out. It feels like a lot of logistical things. It feels like if you're the Dodgers, you're only using him if it's game 7 of a series and he's not up to bat and you're literally like, we need 3 outs to go win this thing. It seems odd. Like, I don't know logistically how this could happen. And you worry if you're Dave Roberts, surprised they're doing this, considering, I mean, if he gets hurt, obviously, you feel like the season's done for the Dodgers, and they would certainly take a step back, and then for the foreseeable future.
Sam, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in here for story number 3 because something just broke out of the world of golf, actually. So Tiger Woods has been asked by the new CEO of golf, which his name is Brian Rolap. He's asked Tiger Woods to head up this new committee, which is the Future Competition Committee. Tiger Woods is now the chairman of it, and some big quotes coming out of Atlanta right now. So it sounds like next year's PGA Tour is going to look very differently from what we've had over the last decades, multiple. The roll-up saying the goal is not incremental change. The goal is significant change. This kind of sounds like the bad guys in Happy Gilmore 2 are about to take over some of what happens on a regular basis in golf.
So what does that mean? That's like they're trying to get rid of the whole live.
I don't know exactly what this means.
It has to be against live because Tiger was with Rory coming out against live.
So the charge to the committee is to design the best professional golf competitive model in the world for the benefit of PGA Tour fans, players, and their partners. It is aimed at a holistic relook of how we compete on tour. So they are looking at everything going, we got a clean slate now. We're erasing everything, and we're going to reformat this to make it the most interesting because we're losing money right now. So how do we make it to where we're making money? Majors every year do great, but guess what? Majors aren't part of the PGA Tour. Majors are their own entity. The USGA has the US Open. The Masters is the Masters. Europe takes care of the Open Championship. The only major that is actually a PGA Tour run thing, I believe, is the Players Championship. So this gets interesting when you look at what the format of regular tournaments are next year, including the Torrey Pines one that happens every year, the Farmers Insurance. It sounds like there's going to be a brand new look to all regular golf tournaments for every week of the year next year.
Well, if it does change stuff, that would be great because golf is a sport that's built on stars.
Don't go to 3 days. Don't go to shotgun starts. Don't change everything like Liv did because it just doesn't work.
But it's like golf is a sport, individual sports, tennis, golf, boxing, UFC. They're built on brands and personalities. It's not like you could be the Patriots were a boring team in terms of how they played. They weren't like the most exciting. They ran the Bill Belichick offense to perfection, but they won so much that they became the global brand of them. They weren't necessarily the most exciting offensive minded team, but because the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, if you're winning, you're going to become relevant because you're winning and people are seeing you all the time late in the year winning it. Sports like this, you have to build brands. That's why it does hurt golf that DeChambeau and some of these guys aren't playing against your Scotties, your Rorys, only in the majors. So it would be cool to kind of see that develop more throughout the year, not just at the major tournaments.
858's in on my plan. Fletch is onto something there with playing Ohtani less. You got to help save himself from himself because he tries to do too much. So really, the Dodgers should just bench Ohtani the rest of this year. Save him for next year. That's when he'll be more useful.
The whole starting 9 they should bench?
Yeah, no, just Ohtani, really. You just keep him out, and then we'll see what happens next year with him. He's already done too much this year. He basically already has the MVP locked up. Do you really need him to play?
Well, yeah.
He'll be fine.
Hopefully he's not hearing this right now because this weekend the Padres need a little help, and this is probably not bulletin board material.
Yeah, he doesn't need to play this weekend. Ohtani, you're fine. Just sit this one out. By the way, the Dodgers are actually going to make more money because of the deferred money because they now have this all invested in what Sammy would say is like a Roth IRA. But all that money that has been deferred to Shohei Ohtani, they're just going to continue to print money on top of it. So Shohei Ohtani actually doing the team a huge favor. All right, San Diego Sports 760, quick break here. Let's get back to the NFL coming up next. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Hey, it's Fletch for Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code Fletch. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app. And preseason football is in full swing. College football is here this weekend. Do not miss any of the action on Prize Picks. All you got to do is make a lineup. 2 to 6 player. You pick their stat projections. You go more than or less than, and you can win up to 2,000 times your cash on Prize Picks. Today, Sammy and I got going. Sandy Alcantara, more than 4.5 pitcher strikeouts. Jacob Mizorowski, more than 5 pitcher strikeouts. And JP Sears pitching for the Pods later today, less than 4.5 hits allowed. Download the Prize Picks app. You could do the same thing. Prize Picks is the best daily fantasy sports app because of the promotions. Taco Tuesdays, Flex Fridays, random little lightnings. Prize Picks will keep you coming back for more all season long. Plus, Prize Picks invented the flex play, which is what I got going tonight. Even if one of those picks doesn't hit, I could still double my money on Prize Picks. Use promo code Fletch when you download the app. Get that $50 bonus in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game all season long on my favorite daily fantasy sports app, Prize Picks. We all remember that one teacher who made a difference in our lives, who believed in us, who challenged us, or who just made learning fun. Now is your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day, Sarah. She teaches at Cubberley Elementary School in San Diego. People told us she goes above and beyond to empower her students, fostering creativity, confidence, and a love for learning. Her innovative teaching methods and unwavering support have transformed lives. Congratulations to Sarah. You are in the running to win $5,000 for your classroom. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. Now, across the hall, we have some coworkers here. One of them is named Gina the Latina. She actually just won favorite radio show host in San Diego. Congratulations, Gina. Gina is also a teacher of sorts. So Sammy could probably nominate her at iHeartRadio.com/teachers because Gina the Latina was teaching you how to play some pickleball yesterday. How'd you do? Did you embarrass the show?
Gina, no. Gina is a very talented player. We ended up playing her stepson and his friend. So we were playing these like literally like 14, 15-year-olds. I don't know how old the kids were. They could play though.
How'd you do?
We did good. We won every game.
That was your first time pickling?
Gina told me because the third game we were kind of losing, and I was really good in the second game. Third game I kind of was faltering a little bit. She turned to me. She's like, "We need to win because I will never hear the end of this." She's like, "So basically, get your ass together." I'm like, "Yes, ma'am. We're there."
Now you and Gina are playing together this weekend?
No, we're not. So that's what I found out. So I got picked for a celebrity pickleball tournament. Our show will be actually being thrown up there. Our Instagram account, Fletch and Sammy. Program director Mary Ayala was like, "Hey, so Sammy, you're gonna play this pickleball thing." I'm like, "Cool, okay. I've never played pickleball before, but let's do it." And then I'm like, "Gina, so what's up? I'm with you or Frankie or all the channel people, and I'm with two dudes from The Bachelor."
Wow.
And some other girl. I was like, "Gina, listen, that like you got to pair me with those two dudes." Like,
do they have six packs?
I don't know. I don't know who they are, but these are the celeb. I'm playing with dudes from The Bachelor.
That's actually pretty cool. All right, I'm going to quiz you real quick, see if you know the terminology. What is the kitchen in pickleball?
That's the area right next to the net that you can't go into.
You nailed it. What's a dink?
Isn't that when you're like warming up beforehand? You like just kind of volley back and forth.
And that is a soft shot that just clears the net and lands inside the kitchen, forcing a low return.
I'm going to put that one on Gina because she told me it was back and forth.
What would you say?
Just kidding, Gina, the Latina, if you're listening.
What would you say, as in a player style, they have a banger, a dinker, an earn, or an ATP? What would you be?
I'm a winner. That's my winner style.
That's not one of the player styles.
Yeah, but a winner encapsulates all of that. Forceful, powerful, clutch, drop shotter.
All right, well, here's another pickleball term. Pickled. What does that mean in the world of pickleball?
What, pickled? That's a real term.
Yes. If you are pickled in a game of pickleball, what does that mean?
You lose?
It's actually it would be the same as like skunked. You know what skunked is?
Oh, like in basketball, you 21 skunk someone.
Exactly. So it'd be losing 11-0.
Yeah, so pickleball, I'm curious how good these people are because Gina takes it seriously. She said her boyfriend's really good.
What's your outfit? What are you planning on wearing?
I don't know. I was thinking about getting the John McEnroe like shorts.
That wouldn't be bad.
From back in the day. She told me that you boys bailed in the morning.
We didn't bail. We can't do it. We all have stuff going on. Rich works Saturday mornings. TD lives 1,000 miles away.
I'm just saying that's what she said.
I have a tea time. I'm golfing.
Who do you think, though, real quick, though, let's say every station did do this. Who would be the favorite?
How could it not be Big Rich, TD, and Fletch? And you would be part of our team. How could it not be?
We would have a nasty foursome right there.
We were talking about the other day about if, Anchorman style, everyone ended up fighting in the building.
Oh, definitely.
How would we not have the best odds?
I would definitely need to tap in with the Rock guys because no offense to John Schaefer because we love him, but I don't know if he's the kind of backup we want on the sports if there's a fight.
Yeah, no, in fact, John's the easy target. I'm going after him first.
Jim would do some crazy stuff.
Brent might kill everybody.
Brent.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
I want Brent on our team.
We might be okay right here.
Brent. Yeah, we could. Brent. I would not mess with Brent.
Well, you would think right away you could maybe start some alliances.
Like we're next to the Kogo people.
I don't want them.
You don't want. We got Lou Penrose, dude. Lou Penrose could throw some hands.
Look, I don't need Mike Usher and Ted Garcia trying to get involved in a fight. No, I love those two gentlemen, but I don't need them anywhere near me in a fight.
Frankie. Oh, so Channel would have Frankie.
Frankie V's a brand new dad. He probably does karate or something. He's in amazing shape.
Producer Chris has some stuff.
Producer Chris.
We don't have to worry about Star.
No.
All love to Jesse and Tati, but that's
His
not
name's literally
an issue.
Boy Toy. I don't think we need to worry about Boy Toy Lozano.
What about the other Rock dudes?
Yeah, Thor's pretty yoked, dude, and Thor takes stuff seriously.
We don't got to worry about Papani, though. We mess him up.
Yeah, he's a Niners fan, dude. Soft.
Yeah, soft.
San Diego Sports 760. We were going to get into some NFL right now. MVP favorite got injured today at practice. We'll let you know who it is on the other side, let you know how serious it is as well. It's San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. It's Fletch for Gary Cooper over at Mountain Trust Mortgage and Realty. Give Gary a call today at 858-376-1299 because from what I hear, Gary, you got a pretty good opportunity for people.
I do. It's actually a lot of land, and it's located on Elena Lane in Vista, and it's definitely a must-see lot at the end of a cul-de-sac with plenty of space to build. The seller already has a soil study, surveyor, topography map, grading plans for a 2,000 square foot manufactured main home with a 2-car detached garage, and there's room for a 1,200 square foot ADU. Sewers in the street and ready for lateral hookup. Property already has a water meter on it. Gas utilities are at the property line. And there, even on the street, you can see the visual spray paint on the street with the markings outlining all the utilities locations. So this is like a really good lot. It's already pretty flat and it's ready to be built on. And we're offering it at $316,000.
Find it online today at mountaintrustrualty.com or give Gary Cooper a call, 858-376-1299, and tell him that Fletch sent you.
The sport's sponsored by Mattress Firm. Padres back tonight against San Francisco Giants for Game 3 of their series. That game will be going at 6:40. JP Sears will be on the mound for the Padres against Landa Roop for the Giants. And big news out of the fight world, Jake Paul will fight Gervonta Tank Davis November 14th in Atlanta, live on Netflix. It will be at a catch weight because there are two very different weight classes. Need better sleep this Labor Day weekend? Upgrade to premium sleep at Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Let their sleep experts match you with the perfect bed and get the rest you deserve. They make sleep easy. Shop Mattress Firm's best sale of the year.
San Diego Sports 760 on a Wednesday. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. John and Jim will take over then. I mentioned that an MVP candidate for this NFL season got injured today at practice, and he did. Looks like he's going to be fine, though. Lamar Jackson got hurt. He got his foot stepped on by one of those big linemen. He ended up leaving the field for a little bit, stayed on, threw a couple more passes, headed into the facility 40 minutes early from today's practice. And afterwards, the Ravens had said he's okay.
Fletch, where would you stack Lamar? Because there's a lot of discussion about, like, some people love Lamar and some people, because of the play style, think that maybe the way he plays, you can't win a Super Bowl with him. Like, where would you stack him among top quarterbacks?
I think he would have won a Super Bowl a couple years ago if John Harbaugh wouldn't have totally changed up the game plan against the Chiefs. When they were playing that game, for whatever reason, you had a good thing going with Lamar all season long, and then you asked him to be a down the field passer. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think that Lamar Jackson is a easy one-of-one talent in this league, in the NFL. He's not the best passer. He's not the best runner in the league, by not just quarterback position. I mean, everyone. But he's really, really good at both those things. I think the Ravens need to do a little bit better job of giving him big, tall, strong wide receivers that he can kind of loft the ball up to. But Lamar Jackson is right up there with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, or Joe Burrow as the best players in this league.
Lamar, we're going to look at as revolutionizing the way we look at quarterbacks, in the way of, like, Mahomes is better. Josh Allen on paper is better. If you were just drafting a quarterback, Joe Burrow, some could argue that one depends. Maybe you take Lamar because Joe Burrow has dealt with a massive injury history. But before Lamar Jackson, teams didn't change their playbooks for a player. Like, it was always thought of as, in college football, you would do it. In college football at Louisville, like, you could have success with a quarterback who ran a lot and kind of change it because they were just the best athlete on the field. And John, you got to give John Harbaugh and the Ravens a lot of credit, because a lot of, people coming in, people wanted Lamar Jackson, scouts, to change to a receiver or a corner.
Yeah, I was one of them. I said, man, could you imagine Lamar Jackson as a slot receiver?
I mean, so you got to give the Ravens a ton of credit for realizing this guy could be super special, but if you put him in a drop back passer offense, he would not be what he is.
Harbaugh's been consistent since the day they drafted him, that he thinks that this guy is not just an elite runner, not just a gimmick quarterback, but an elite passer of the football too. And I think we're starting to get proof that he's right. Like, so Lamar Jackson against NFC teams. Have you ever seen this stat? This is my favorite stat. He's 24-4 in his career against teams from the NFC. So teams that aren't used to seeing him on a regular basis. And Sammy, you're absolutely right. Just like with Patrick Mahomes, where all of a sudden you see these two deep safeties popping up a lot more in every game they play against Mahomes. That's because you had to take away his cheat code. And now you're starting to see it with teams against Lamar Jackson. Teams haven't been able to figure him out yet. He's in the postseason every year. It's not until he gets to either a really tough matchup in the divisional round or the AFC Championship team that people have been able to figure out how to stop him. But Lamar Jackson stands alone in terms of athleticism, throwing, talent. Lamar Jackson is one of one.
And with Lamar, it's going back to, like, they built their whole system around him, and we've seen it since. Like, guys like Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury built a friendly offense to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is probably a better passer of the ball than Lamar Jackson, but similar type player. He's elusive, not as fast as Lamar, can't get out and run. But I mean, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the same way. Bigger arm, more prototypical quarterback, but we have seen guys completely change the way of their system to a player, and that's credit to Lamar. And to be fair to Lamar, because Lamar gets crushed a lot for not winning in the postseason, and he hasn't always had the best postseason games. But if you look at between, like, Mahomes owners taken out because he has the hardware, but if you look at Josh Allen, Burrow, hell, even throw Mahomes in there, any of them, they have had way better weapons than Lamar has had. To be fair to Lamar Jackson,
for sure.
All three of those guys has had Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow have had number one true receivers, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs.
Well, Mahomes' first year starting, he had the best tight end in football and the best wide receiver in football.
Exactly. And then Mahomes proved, obviously.
And was it Mahomes' first year started, Kareem Hunt's first year also, where he led the league in rushing?
And then he got cut. But yeah.
So, you're absolutely right. Every single one of those quarterbacks has had better weapons. The best weapon Lamar's had is Mark Andrews as a tight end, who's really, really good. And
Derrick Henry as running back.
That's huge. Rashad Bateman?
Yeah, Bateman.
Is that the best wide receiver?
I guess Zay Flowers when he's healthy. But, like, they've had a lot of receivers who have been, like, they signed DeAndre Hopkins from the Chiefs. They signed a lot of veteran receivers thinking they're going to pop. They dealt with a lot of injuries. And, obviously Mahomes proved he can win one without the number one receiver. And Josh Allen has been better, honestly, on his stats since Stephon Diggs left. So it's not a shot to those guys. Obviously, they've won more than Lamar has. But Lamar, the narrative around Lamar that he is just a runner of the football, like, he has not had a lot of receivers to work with. And you do wonder sometimes when it's 3rd and 10 in a playoff game or it's a 4th and 5 and you just have to get a conversion no matter what it is. Can he drop back and do it? But you got to give the Ravens so much credit for doing it. It's really changed how we evaluate quarterbacks going forward.
I hope they just realize when they get to the postseason this year, let Lamar win by being Lamar. Don't try to change up the game plan. Don't try to force him to be a drop back passer who's going to throw 60 yards down the field. That's not who he is. No, find short routes to your tight ends. Let Lamar cook in the backfield. Make sure he's able to have options on every single play he has, whether he's handed it off to Derrick Henry or running himself. But let Lamar Jackson be that improviser. Don't make him be something he isn't.
And looking at the playoff game last year, and Fletch is going to go, "Oh, you're just hating on Josh Allen."
No, Lamar Jackson was better than Josh Allen in that game.
People forget if you watch, because everyone, obviously Mark Andrews gets the headline. He dropped a 2-point conversion and he fumbled the ball earlier in the quarter. Lamar Jackson, I know he had the early pick where he sailed it on to Bateman, I believe, and then he fumbled when they were driving at the 40-yard line. He drove, I believe there was 2.5 minutes left in that game. In Buffalo, it's snowing. It's a tough place to play, from his own 5-yard line to set up that Mark Andrews 2-point conversion. And he had been driving before on two possessions before when Mark Andrews fumbled. I mean, he outplayed Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't have a touchdown in that game. He had 127 yards passing. So, this is why I get frustrated sometimes when the narrative around people give Josh Allen such a pass and he's an amazing player, but for his playoff performances against everyone besides the Chiefs. And it's like, to be fair to Lamar Jackson has played really well in some of these playoff games, against him, and just come
Lamar
up short.
Jackson has more MVPs than Josh Allen.
Right.
I don't know why you say that. You think people think Josh Allen's so much better than Lamar Jackson. I don't think anyone thinks that.
I think that is a communal thing. Josh Allen.
The majority of people have Mahomes 1, and then there's a 3-way tie for number 2.
I would if I was drafting a quarterback, I would take Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. I would. If you said build a team, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, I would take Josh Allen. My problem is that I feel like Josh Allen gets a pass for a lot of his playoff failures, and Lamar Jackson gets crushed for a lot of his. Crushed, and you could really make an argument that he has not had the supporting cast in some of the performances that Josh Allen has had.
And I think earlier on, Lamar Jackson played bad against the Chargers in Phillip Rivers' last playoff victory as the Chargers quarterback. Lamar Jackson was the reason the Ravens lost that game. And that sticks with you. First impressions mean a lot. So moving forward, we'll see. These two have a lot of time left in their career. I can't wait to see the future of it. By the way, Lamar Jackson also gets dinged for his style of play leading to more injuries. He's been fully healthy the last 2 seasons.
He doesn't get hit. He slides every time.
He's gotten really good at not getting hit. Now, this getting banged up in practice, I guess his foot and his wrist are both having some problems today. We'll see what this means. But the word from the Ravens is that he's okay leaving it. So
if you were starting a team in that division and you had Burrow or Lamar, who would you take?
Burrow.
Yeah.
I think longer term, Burrow is a better option for you long term. All right, we're going to take a quick break here because on the other side, we got SDFC head coach Mikey Varas joining the show. Can't wait for it. We'll get some updates on where the team's been and where the team is going next, and maybe a future MVP on the team. That's next. San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. Tonight, 6 o'clock, SDFC Midweek Live, right here on San Diego Sports 760. You can hear from the head coach, Mikey Varas, then, or you could hear from him right now as we bring on the head coach of SDFC, first placed in the Western Conference, 52 points on the year, couple of nice wins over San Jose and Kansas City over the last couple of weeks, coming off the Leagues Cup. They got a matchup this weekend in San Diego, Saturday night against Portland at Snapdragon Stadium. The head coach of SDFC, Mikey Varas, joining the show right now. How we doing, Mikey? It's good to hear from you.
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. It's been a couple months since we've been able to give you or chat with you for a little bit, and things have gone well for SDFC. Better than expectations coming into this season. Mikey, what's this year been like for you? We haven't been able to chat with you since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of hard work, enjoyment. It's the adventure of a lifetime, and we're all just committed to making as good of a season as possible.
You guys, currently number one in the Western Conference. I know everyone, heading into the season is like, hey, we're going to do great, but you guys really have a legit chance to go win a title. Can you just speak to how this team has developed throughout the year?
Yeah, I think our strength is that we've always done things from a foundation perspective, right? Like, we don't think about the future. We don't think about 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. We enter in with clear intentions that you got to work your butts off. You got to be committed to the process, have convictions for the style of play and the culture that we want. And what you do every day matters. What you do in the training, recovery room, film room, all of that really matters. And then when the ball starts rolling, we just try to play off of habits and intuitions, and we see what happens.
SDFC head coach Mikey Varas on with us today on San Diego Sports 760. Mikey, in the offseason, the big splash was obviously Chucky Lozano coming over. And then maybe something a little underrated here in town was Anders Dreyer coming over. And he's been one of the best players in all of Major League Soccer this year. You look up at the betting odds, and Anders Dreyer, number 2 right now to win MVP in the MLS behind Lionel Messi. This is pretty amazing what Anders Dreyer has been able to do this year. But can you speak to him as a leader on the team, not just as a leader in the stats?
Yeah, first is credit to our scouting or recruitment department of finding players who have character and talent, because Anders is a great guy. He's a great teammate. He's a really good professional. Of course, he has the talent, and that's shining through the season, which is great, but he's a team first guy. He runs for the team. He trains hard. And I think ultimately that's what we all appreciate the most, because we know that all of these players' talents will shine through when the effort and commitment and discipline is there.
Losing a player like Milan Lasky through, in the middle of the season when it's been going so well, but you guys have really been able to kind of right the ship and still be winning a bunch of games. How do you deal with that as a coach and really communicate that to your team?
You just focus on the things that you can impact. Focusing on things that are out of your control doesn't really make sense. So we focus on our training environment, on the players that we have in our team, what our strengths are, and try to set conditions for success. At the end of the day, we believe in the players that we have, and we believe in our process and the way that we work, and just being all in on that, I think, is important.
Head coach of SDFC, Mikey Varas, joining us today on San Diego Sports 760. Mikey, you look at Portland coming into town this weekend. What can you tell us about their plan coming into you? Portland, I believe, 6th right now in the standings in the Western Conference. What are some challenges they're going to give you guys this weekend?
Yeah, really athletic team, good in 1v1, really good in open spaces, good in like 2-3-man combinations. Play with a really big, wide shape in possession. So a challenge to get into pressure and lock the plays. But, we're going to be ready for them. We work every day with the purpose of making the city proud and giving ourselves the best chance of winning the points that are in front of us.
You guys acquired Leo Duru, the defender, on loan from Rovers. What does he bring to the team, and what should fans be looking for from him?
Yeah, Leo's a young player with tremendous potential. He's really explosive, strong, attacking right fullback profile, and his potential is huge. And he comes here really, really hungry to make next steps in his career as well. So we're really excited to have Leo.
Mikey Varas joining us today. Mikey, if we can, let's go all the way back to the home opener, because that was the last time you were on this show, was right before it. And we talked about a lot of things about your plan for the season, about whether you like burritos or tacos more, cocktails or beer more. We got into a lot of fun stuff last time. But that night, 34,506 fans at Snapdragon Stadium. And then it's only gotten bigger, it feels like, as the season's gone on. The support's been unreal. What has been the biggest surprise for you in your first year as the head coach of this club? Has it been the fan interaction? Has it been how well you guys have played? I'd like to just kind of give you the floor here. Your biggest surprise this year in your first year?
I would say, I don't think it was the biggest surprise, but I think what I could say is like the biggest joy that this whole adventure has brought me is just the connection that I feel to the city, the people, the community, the club, what we're trying to do from a club perspective in terms of values and intentions, but also that connection to La Frontera, SD, and all the fans in the stadium. Like, you can just tell how much people care about their city here, about their region. San Diegans love San Diego, and I've completely feel like a San Diegan here. You know, I feel like I'm part of the family, and that's been really a special feeling for me.
It's been awesome, man. It's been awesome to watch from the outside. It's been awesome going to some of these matches. It's been a ton of fun having SDFC here. It's something a lot of people wanted for a really long time. Now, last time we chat, Mikey, we talked a lot about the Right to Dream Academy, and I think that's kind of just always happening on the back burner here, where headlines get grabbed up by SDFC being number one in the conference. But can you tell us a little bit about Right to Dream Academy and what's been going on over the course of this year while SDFC has been having all the success on the pitch?
Yeah, well, first we had the International Academy, which is basically a selection of our best players, 16 and 17 years old, from all the academies in the global network. They came here for a month, trained with us, and that was amazing because we could see some potential guys who could be coming here. And then we just opened up about a week ago, our academy, right? So we have 18, 10, 11-year-olds on campus now, and it was a pretty special moment for me, and knowing that I'm part of the first steps in the club's history, that all these little guys came into one of our pro team meetings in the morning and introduced themselves one by one. And that's a tradition that has now been established in San Diego, where the new class of incoming 10 and 11-year-olds will come and introduce themselves to the first team players. And I think that's amazing. We're just so excited to see how this thing continues to grow.
It's awesome, man. And maybe the hope is that in 5 or 6 years, you're starting to see some of those guys come out on the field for SDFC. It's all about building it right, and that's exactly what you guys are doing. Mikey, thank you for your time today. Good luck this weekend against Portland. Can't wait to see what happens here as we get into October, and that's when the fun really gets going. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate your time.
That's right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Right on. Mikey Varas, head coach of SDFC, joining us today. Always fun to chat with the head coach. And I can't wait to see what happens, man. It's pretty cool, this Right to Dream thing. As I'm starting to kind of get more into the soccer world, you start to understand this MLS thing. This is from the time they are 10 and 11 years old, and they get into the system, and then you're developing, and it's about how SDFC plays. And then you can get up to the point where you have 16, 17, 18-year-olds who are signing legitimate contracts and who might end up playing for SDFC. Very, very cool. But how about that? Anders Dreyer, number 2 on the MVP list right now?
Yeah, only to Messi?
Ooh.
Damn, is that a little something we should place in Vegas?
Maybe. I think Messi's negative number right now, so he's the overwhelming favorite.
Then
but Anders is I think I saw him around plus 700 or 800. I can't remember where it was.
It's worth a little sprinkle.
But like, Messi's probably gonna win the award
on name brand. I mean, he's gonna win the award.
Well, and unless he just stops playing the last few weeks of the season, Messi's probably gonna win the award. But Anders Dreyer has been incredible this year, man. That kid truly is on fire. All right, Sammy, these are the last 40 seconds. We're gonna be on the air here in San Diego. We're going to Vegas right now. Like, we are literally hopping in the car and heading down. Anything you want to say before we leave?
We're very excited. Please tune in. And if you want any proxy betting, make sure to hit Fletch on the DM.
Whoa. No, it is at Schlong on X. That's where you need to go. All right, we'll see you tomorrow live from Vegas. John and Jim next. San Diego Sports 760.